Okay, we got another bonus video. That's right, this time it is with the Honda CR-V. And as you can see, I'm putting it to the test. Can you believe it has been 7 years since I last reviewed a Honda CR-V? 7. If you know, you know. Friends, fans out there. Ha, Monica. Anyway, I am so thrilled to be back behind the wheel of a Honda CR-V, and I'm in the exclusive model, which is the fancy pants one. Now, a lot has been said about the fact that this costs R1 million. It was this whole big thing, Honda for R1 million. Oh my goodness, R1 million Honda. To be fair, since this launched, which was more than a year ago, we've seen R1 million Mazda, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, Mazda's R1 million. Like, it's where we are, people. It's where we are with car pricing. And to be frank, this is a legacy car that, well, I want to say you can't put a price on it, because you can't really. But if you consider, like, this came out, well, I think in South Africa it was 1997. I was in standard 7. Standard 7. Everything's about 7s at the moment. 97, standard 7, you know, yeah, okay, 7 years ago. But anyways, I think it was 95 that it actually launched, and then it came to South Africa about a year or 2 years later. And at the time, there wasn't really much competition. I mean, I can't even, maybe a RAV4, and even then, I'm not sure if that would have, you know, it was like ahead of its time in a way. And since then, I mean, we're now on the 6th generation of this car, and it's still a very popular model, and for good reason. I mean, my mom had one. My mom had, I think, like the 3rd generation or the 4th about the 4th generation. She loved that car so much. It's still one of her favorite cars. And the only reason that she had to get something else, eventually, I think the warranty was out and she needed a new car. And unfortunately, we couldn't afford to get the new CR-V, which happens with most models at the moment. Like, my husband couldn't, like, he had a Polo, he didn't get a new Polo. Do you know, that happens. But it doesn't take away from the excellent product. Also consider, you can get a CR-V for under R1 million. So I think it's like 961,000 Rand. That's for the executive model. And it still comes absolutely laden with features. This exclusive model adds things like a sunroof, a head-up display, 19-inch wheels. You're still going to get yourself a 10-inch touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless for the Apple CarPlay. The Android Auto you've got to plug in, which doesn't bother me too much because often the wireless one can drop. You also get a bigger TFT display here. I love this. Like, it's really set up beautifully. It's got all the information I need. I don't really have to flick through too much to find everything. It's set up in the way that I like it and the way that I want it. So this generation obviously is like longer, wider, and the wheelbase has been increased, etc., since the previous model. This has updated adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist. This has got 8 airbags, and it's got a host of safety features that I'm not going to go through. You can actually access them all through here on this infotainment system, which is, like, the graphics are pretty good. It's really easy to use. It's intuitive. I find it just to be simple. And I like simple, okay? I don't think we need complicated when it comes to this. So the build quality overall is superb. I can feel when I get into this car that it's sort of that legacy feel. You just know what you're in for, you know what you're getting, and you know that it's quality. Now, this is actually also a 7-seater, which you know that I love. Now, I'm always one to be like, psh, why even use the 7-seat, the back row? I like just like a big boot. But I'm going to get into the back and I'm going to show you what's going on there. Okay, let's get into the back. Look how much space is back here. Guys, I can do this. La da 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 da. I like to be able to cross my legs and, you know, do that with my foot. Another cool thing for rear passengers, it's got 2 C-type USB ports here and some, what are these, rear vents. Very cool. But look at this. Ay, ay, ay. So obviously it creates more space for the people in the back there, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to get into the back now. Let's show you. Let me show you. Check this out, quite easy. Oh, so you can just like squish it forward or like put it all the way back. This makes it a lot easier to get in, obviously. As you can see, I was in. Hey. Okay, so now I'm going to show you from the other side. Right, so now I'm pulling this chair forward. And I've got quite a bit of legroom here. I've taken a lot of theirs, though, to be fair. So this, I have to say, is actually a very comfortable third row of seats. They are not, most of them, they're not this comfortable. Like, I'd be happy to drive in this. Even for an hour, I think I could probably do. I think if you're like a young kid, so I don't mean like a toddler, I mean like sort of maybe under 10 or something, you're actually going to be quite comfortable in the back here. You've got your cup holders and everything. The only problem is, and this is the problem with all 7-seaters, is that when all the seats are up, you've got minimal boot space. But you can, if you need, that's easy enough, pop that down, and then you can put whatever you need here. And if there's one person in the back, if you need all 7 seats, you're going to maybe need a trailer. But let's go see that boot. Okay. Yeah. Look how easy it is to get out, guys. Look how easy it is. Okay. I'm not as young and nimble as I used to be, so I don't need any judgment. Okay, thanks. Okay, here. Super simple. Now look, this is all flat, but this also actually drops. And then you've got like a different, I don't know why you would want different levels. Like that would do my head in a little bit. But you can just, like I say, pop that back in and then it makes it all level. There's a bit of a gap here. Most stuff's going to go over it. I've pushed those seats now right to the front. So there is more than enough space. You can put stuff down there, but I think those seats are going to be brought back so someone can actually sit in them. And then you've actually got quite a spacious boot. So yeah, it's an electric tailgate. Always a winner. Shoo! And scene. So this has got an updated 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine. You've got 140 kilowatts of power and 240 newton meters of torque. And there's another 7 in the mix because claimed fuel consumption is 7.4 litres per 100 Ks. I'm sitting at 8.3 litres. Now, I don't think that's too bad. I'm doing a lot of town driving, a lot of hooligan driving, because that's how I drive. So you can certainly get it lower. And that is something that I think is important to the customer that is driving this car and within this range. We're not like into like the high millions where that sort of thing doesn't bother you. This, you still want to have a very good fuel consumption, which this does have. I mean, look, you could, I think a few people might want a little bit more oomph in here. The other sort of, I guess, drawback for some is the fact that it's a CVT and it can be a bit intrusive when you put your foot down. I have found, again, cruising around to be absolutely pleasant. The ride quality of a Honda in general, but certainly the CR-V, is great and always has been excellent and continues to be excellent. I just thought I'd give it a little bit of a push on these windy roads here. And that's one thing I can say. Beautiful handling. Oh, it feels solid. And when you're in a family car with your family in it, you want solidity is what you want. It's quite serene in here. Like the NVH levels are really good. Obviously it's got a high ground clearance, point of like SUVs, right? You're not going to be hardcore off-roading in this, but you're certainly going to be fine if you hit a little bit of uneven terrain. And it's going to like soak up that uneven terrain so that you don't even feel it too badly. I think I said this 7 years ago when I did the review, and it remains in place. I say it again, this remains an excellent family car. It's a really good, solid, familiar family car. The price might put you off, but I feel that like any Honda fan, like my family are big into Hondas. My gran still drives a Honda and always will drive a Honda. She's 90, by the way. And sometimes you kind of can't put a price on loyalty in a way. And it is a tough segment, especially with all these Chinese cars like flooding the market and offering a price that is almost unmatchable. Unmatchable? I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to go with it. What I think Honda does offer is peace of mind. So you're getting a 5-year 90,000 kilometer service plan and a 5-year 100,000 kilometer warranty. And Honda is known for impeccable after-sales service. Again, it's one of the reasons my family still buys them and why my gran always loves them. My grandfather was a big fan. And I get that that's, again, like a legacy thing and people have different experiences. But I almost, in fact, I've never gotten complaints about Honda through emails or direct messaging or anything. I get it for every other manufacturer just about. Like I try to help people if they can't get something, I try and get my contacts involved. And I don't think I've ever had to email Honda to say this person's having an issue at one of your dealers or with their after sales service. So that is huge, by the way, in the whole ownership of a car. You want impeccable after sales service so that if anything goes wrong, you know that it's taken care of. This is going to be an everyday car. And you most likely not driving, on a road trip every day. That would be weird. And for an everyday car, it's easy and it's fuss-free and it's very comfortable. And I think those are such important factors. There's nothing that's irking me, nothing's bothering me. And that's always a telltale sign for me for any car that I test drive. If there's something that's irritating me, it's probably going to irritate someone else. And when you're spending this kind of money on a car, you don't want to be irritable. There's enough outside factors and even inside factors that cause irritation. Your car shouldn't be one of them. And that is a wrap on the CR-V. Now, if you liked this video, leave a comment underneath the video. Subscribe to my channel, engage with me, because then it makes this all worth it.